Aloha, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Master Paul. I'm honored to be connecting with you today on today's live stream. It appears that it would be April 3rd today. It is a Monday, and it is the beginning of a new week and the beginning of a series. Over the weekend, I was contemplating how best to serve you. And what I heard this morning was something that I had done a teaching on probably 2 or 3 times, but it was just a one-day teaching. And the message I heard was there needs to be a series that can assist people to more fully open their heart and soul so that they can align to their soul's highest potential. And as I listened to that message this morning, I said, okay, that I can work with that. I think everybody needs to align to their soul's highest potential more. And then just before this show, I did some checking of soul guidance to find out, well, exactly what would I share on each of these days, since this is a series that'll be at least this week. And I heard that it would actually be 2 weeks worth, Monday through Thursday, so 8 days worth of a series. And so as I started doing some flows on it, what I received was actually very significant. And I'll be sharing that with you through the course of today's live stream. There is, for each and every one of us, some significant blockages that inhibit us from really being joyful and grateful all the time. I know I'm not, and I know I have a long way to go. And yet I'm on a pretty decent spiritual path. And so it's interesting that there are so many blockages that can be in the way from being in a place of deep gratitude and deep appreciation for all that we have, and for more fully aligning to our soul journey. So over this series, we'll be utilizing the wisdom, teachings, and practices that Master Sha has brought to humanity through his 21 books. As a master teacher, certified as a master teacher from the Soul Power Institute, having practiced these practices, this wisdom, for 9 years, and having taught it to hundreds and hundreds of people and witnessed their results, it's very clear to me that the benefits only require one thing, which is an open mind along with practice. So I guess that's 2 things, an open mind and practice. And so when we apply open mind and we apply practice of these very basic wisdoms and teachings, we have the possibility of further developing our life. Now, this morning when I sent the video calling out for this series, I was connecting to exactly how I would present and what would be the priorities in the presentation. And there's actually quite a few areas that can inhibit us from having our heart open. And so I'm going to have to check one more time to make sure I go ahead and start in the right area. I received some very clear guidance that we need to use a very special book that Master Sha created for serving humanity, for bringing blessings to us. And so as we get more and more people gathering on the live stream, we're going to more fully connect into this wisdom. So how was everybody's weekend? Were they able to apply what they have learned? In the 11 months that I have been doing these live streams, I told 9 months on my video this morning, but Kristen reminded me that it's been almost a year, which is quite shocking to me. But so in the 11th months I've been doing this live stream, I have been able to witness all of your growth. Those that keep coming back, those that have been doing the practices consistently. There are quite a few that actually can't come to the physical live stream because it's midnight or 1 or 2 a.m. But they're very consistent about watching the next day. and they get to the benefits and the results accordingly. As you know, I always offer blessings through these practices, and that alone is worth its weight in gold. But the wisdom that we do on our own, the application of what we do on our own, is really what makes a difference. And I can share with you that from what I've witnessed from your sharings, it's been a very big validation that these work. And so as a master teacher, I have trained in this modality as indicated for about 9 years. I've learned to apply soul power in every aspect of life. Soul power is the unique awakening, if you will, that Master Sha has brought to humanity. And he explains that everyone and everything has a soul. He explains that the soul's purpose is to serve, which is a very simple statement, but most of us miss that. And when I was checking in with what would be the steps that I would take in this series, one of the key pieces of information that came was that we, our personality, are separate from our soul. Our soul is separate from the soul world. And the soul world, believe it or not, is somewhat separate from heaven. And so it was interesting when I received that in my guidance this morning. I was like, wow. So we have a little work to do. So this will not only be opening your heart and soul so that you can love again or so that you can heal a relationship. This would be opening your heart and soul so that you can more fully align to your soul and what it came here for, so that your soul can more fully align to the soul world. Who is the soul world? Beings of light. Jesus, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin behind me. All these are beings of light, and the soul world is all around us. They want to serve us. And so, and additionally, how to more further align our soul, open our heart and soul, so that we can more fully connect to heaven, who is always here for us. And you know, most of us, we belong to some source of a belief system, whether it's Christianity or Buddhism or Islamic, or it doesn't really matter what the label is. It's something that causes us to connect at a heart level, find people of like mind, and to more fully understand why we're here. What is our purpose? God, why did you bring me here? Why am I suffering, God? All these questions, these conditions that we go through. And so this series will stepstone us towards getting some alignment, hopefully some answers for you at your level. And by the time that we end this series, my hope is that you will have leveled up substantially in as to how to more fully align to your heart and soul, how to open it to be more loving to yourself and to others, how to be more loving as you bring your soul to the world, more aligned to your soul, to heaven and beyond. That's my greatest hope. So before we get started, I'm going to acknowledge everybody that's joined us at this time. Welcome Brianna, welcome Ale, welcome Christine Rojas, welcome to Sarah MacArthur, aloha Sharon Dodd, welcome Tatiana, welcome Susan, aloha Rishav Argavar, and welcome Jasmine Hodgins. Thank you all. A couple new names popping in there. Thank you for coming. Welcome Nina. Aloha CJ, aloha Renee, aloha Diane Victoria. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for coming. Aloha Elizabeth. Welcome Ari. Welcome Nicole Nadeau. Aloha Master Jan. Welcome Emma. And welcome Missy Dodd. Haven't seen you in a while as well, Missy. Good to see you. Welcome Kristen Strachan. Welcome Elizabeth. Welcome Norma. Aloha Lori. Welcome Zulki. And aloha Kate. So thank you all so much for joining, and thank you also for hitting the share button, letting other people know about this series. Welcome Yvette, and anybody else whose name, if I did not mention you, please forgive me. So we're going to start by connecting heart to heart, soul to soul. As you know, we do that by chanting the Source Soul Song of Love, Peace and Harmony. This is a song that is actually translated into 50 languages. It is a non-profit movement, Love, Peace, Harmony movement. And Master Sha's goal is to gather 1.5 billion people in the entire planet chanting this Source Soul Song, because when we can collectively move into love and peace and harmony, all the problems in the world dissolve virtually instantly. So it's a very good goal, and we're going to use it to set the energy. So let us place our hands in Soul Light, Soul Service hand position, which is much like our prayer position, where we drop the left hand in front of the heart center and the right hand remains pointed towards heaven. And I will invite beings of light in. They're all layers of the divine Tao and Source. All the beings of light serving the planet of the light side. Masters, ascended masters, angels, healing angels, archangels, lamas, gurus, sifus, saints, Buddhas, bodhisattvas, dear beloved Jesus, dear beloved Buddha, dear beloved Mother Mary, dear beloved Kuan Yin, dear beloved Krishna, dear beloved all beings of light, mentioned and unmentioned. We love you all, honor you all, respect you all. We ask for your presence at this time in whatever way is most appropriate. We ask that you bless everybody watching, everybody listening to more fully awaken their heart and soul, to bless them to accomplish what they came to this live stream and this recording for. Bless them to release their suffering in whatever way is most appropriate. Please guide me to speak your wisdom that the most can be served. I'm very grateful. Dear the Source Soul Song of love, peace and harmony, transmitted to all souls in all universes. Love you, love you, love you. We ask that you please turn on, and we invite all souls in all universes to turn on and join with us as we chant to serve all souls unconditionally. So let us chant, let us serve. For those that are new, this is a blessing. Please close your eyes, receive the blessing. Everybody else, let us close our eyes and serve. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. 我爱我心儿灵，我爱它软软泪，望你音容耳目世上，相爱平安和谐，相爱平安和谐。I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace and harmony. Love, peace and harmony. Again. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, li, lula, lula. Lula, li, lula. 我爱我心儿灵，我爱它软软泪，望你音容耳目世上，相爱平安和谐。相爱平安和谐。I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace and harmony. Love, peace and harmony. Ha, ha, ha. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thank you to Pamela and the 13 others that have shared. And thank you for taking a minute and hitting the share button. That song is the Source Soul Song of Love, Peace and Harmony. And Kristen did post what it means, the links to the original page and the PDF to download the many different languages it's in, as well as the song itself. The copyright has been removed, and it is encouraged for you to share the song with as many people as possible. Little by the general public is known of the value of this song, but it is not a Michael Jackson song about peace in the world. It is literally a song that heals and transforms and clears blockages. If you want to know if a pear is sweet, put the song in a room where someone is suffering. Play it on volume 1 if they're not interested in hearing it. You will be shocked at the metamorphosis that occurs. It is that kind of a frequency that it carries. And so welcome Reese, and welcome Johnny Mambodi. Welcome all those who have come that I have not acknowledged. Please forgive me if I did not see your name. And welcome Luna. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. So today is the beginning of a series. This series and its purpose is to assist us to open our heart and soul. Now, just hearing the words, open my heart and soul, for some people that means to be able to communicate with others. For some people that means that they have been in suffering a lot. Maybe they're in a place of depression, maybe they're in a place of anxiety, maybe they're in a place where they've closed down because their heart was crushed. For others it might mean that they're actually doing well and they really want to open their heart and soul to serve more, to be able to awaken to their soul's journey. So for each person, this teaching will serve you for wherever you're at on your soul journey. Because the teaching, regardless of where you're at, will move you to where you desire to be. For those whose hearts and souls are already, for the most part, connected, and they want to be a better servant to humanity. They want to expand their soul's journey, to become more awakened to the soul in its highest potential. The same practice we do for somebody that may have very blocked heart because of a relationship issue in this example. The same practice will create results for both. That's one of the unique things about the wisdom and teachings that I've been so blessed to hear from my teacher, Master Sha, and the Institute, the Soul Power Institute. And so you can learn more at soulpowerinstitute.com, by the way. They do offer courses. Now, as a master teacher that has been studying this modality, this wisdom, this teaching, and now being a master teacher that has received extraordinary ability to offer extraordinary blessings, I can share with you that opening the heart and soul is not a small thing. As a guy, most people that you run across, if you go to local groups, chanting groups, in general, the spiritual journey, you're going to find a 70 to 30% ratio of women to men. And mostly because women's hearts are more open. That's why they get crushed a bit more. That's why they tend to get hurt more often, because the hearts are open. Guys, on the other hand, for the most part, we're kind of clueless until we go through our own struggles. And we tend to waken up a little bit later in life. Now, it's not always true for our younger men and our boys. They're coming in very open-hearted, and they're serving humanity well. Thank you, God, for bringing in such beautiful children. But in the past, that's generally been the case. And so when I share with you, a lot of what I'm sharing is coming from a closed heart to moving to a place of being an open-hearted soul. And part and parcel of that was receiving a lot of blessings, actually. I had to do a lot of practice. I had to receive a lot of blessings. And I had to use the special calligraphies and those tools like the Love, Peace, Harmony song to help crack things open. Now, I've also been on a soul journey the majority of my life, since age of 18. Some of you have heard that story. I'm not going to go down the where I came from road. But I can tell you that I have been looking for a long time. And it's highly likely that most of you watching today have also been looking. And hopefully the look never stops. Because if we're not always looking to more open our heart and soul, to more align ourselves to the divine, then we're definitely stagnant. And if you think that your path is the right and only path, well, you're definitely wrong. Just as if everything I say is definitely not the right and only piece of information that can serve you. It is one aspect of what heaven has brought to serve humanity through this teacher, Master Sha, to serve those that are ready, willing, and able. As they say, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. I am not your teacher. I am just a student offering the wisdom that Master Sha has brought. He is my teacher. So this wisdom first starts by recognition of what is a soul and how do we close our heart and soul. So the soul is a golden light being, and all of us have a soul. What a surprise. But unbeknownst to some, everyone and everything has a soul. That means that this book has a soul. That means that the cell phone you're watching through has a soul. That means that the chair you're sitting in has a soul. Everyone and everything has a soul. Now for some people, they're raising their eyebrow and it already is hitting up against their perspective, what they've taught and what they've learned so far in life. And that's okay. If it butts up against your perspective, that can be a very good thing. Why is it good? Because if we ever think we know everything and then we judge whatever we hear against what we know, then that's your first lesson. Never judge against what you know. Always be very flexible like a bamboo in the wind. The only way we can ever learn more is being flexible. And so the wisdom that Master Sha brought is that everyone and everything has a soul. That means every speck of energy, every speck of matter, the dirt has a soul, the fish have a soul, trees have a soul, air has a soul. Everything has a soul. And he goes on to further teach that the reason why everything has a soul is because everything is from original creator. And therefore, everything carries consciousness of original creator in it. Everything has spirit in it. He further goes on to teach that not only does everything have a soul, but the purpose of every soul is to serve. Now when I first read that in the book called The Power of Soul, my heart just sang, because it was the first time somebody actually ever gave me the answer after 20 plus years of being in the search for an answer. Why am I here? The purpose is to serve. My soul lit up. I delved into all of his books at that point because I knew I'd found somebody that truly had a few answers. And this is the beginning of the wisdom that I'll be sharing with you in this series. And so now that we know that you have a soul and that everything has a soul, then we start to go into, okay, well, if I have a soul, then how do I communicate with my soul? How do I open my heart and my soul to more fully align to the purpose of why I am here? This also is where I give credit to Master Sha and Soul Power Institute because they give us a step-by-step way to accomplish that. A step-by-step way how to open our heart. A deep understanding of how it gets closed. What is the relationship between the heart and the soul? Because they are different. But everything has a heart and soul. So a cell has a soul, heart, mind, body, energy, and matter. A cell. An organ, a system has a soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter. So this is very advanced teachings actually. I'm not going to go into all that part of it right now. But do know that if you have a heart, so does everything else. And so there's a deep secret in that awareness. If your soul of your cells have a heart, and your organs have a heart, and your heart has a heart, what do you think everybody else outside of you has? What do you think that ex-boyfriend? He has all the same things. What about the potential for your soul's future? Everything is interconnected. It has been said in some of the deeper teachings out there that life is a web of interconnectivity. Some have their spiritual third eye opened. They can see that web. Everyone has their own ability to connect to at different levels. Some people do readings, Akashic record readings or psychic readings or whatever. I do what's called soul readings. What is that? That's connecting to the web of our soul to soul interconnectivity. When I did the guidance for this series, I asked Kevin, what is your intention? You've asked me to do this series, what is your intention? And they said, we need you to connect people to their soul first. Then we need you to connect their soul to other souls secondly, the soul world. Then we need them to understand their interconnection to heaven. So there's actually multiple layers that heaven wanted me to share through this wisdom, through this teaching, through these series that I'm bringing forth. And so when we first understand that we are a soul, having we are a physical being having an experience on behalf of our soul, we can start at that beginning to understand. When heaven said, I want you to teach them to connect more to not only to their soul but to the soul world, we think from a conscious level that connecting to the soul world is talking to Jesus, or talking to Kuan Yin, or talking to a deceased mother. That's not connecting to the soul world. That is an aspect of connecting to the soul world. But connecting to the soul world goes so much deeper. What about the souls of our organs, our systems, our brain, our heart, the soul of our intentions and desires in this life, the soul of our finances? Remember, the wisdom, the teachings, everything has a soul because everything has the consciousness of the divine in it. And so your job as someone that has an intention to awaken to their purpose here, to awaken and open their soul, open their heart, your job is to, in every day, apply whatever wisdom resonates with you. Some of this might, like I said, butt up against your understandings. That's okay. Be the bamboo. Allow it to absorb, and when and if it makes more sense, start applying it. Those that accept it readily, great. Apply it right away. How do we apply something like this right away? Well, you have a job, right? You have health concerns on some level. Maybe it's emotional health, physical health. Those have souls. And you can learn how to send them love. You can learn how to communicate with those souls. That's just two very simple examples. But the deeper wisdom is to move yourself through every moment in life with that awareness. To move from one room to the next with the awareness that you are walking through a series of souls. That your connectivity to the soul world could be on a constant basis. It could be where manifesting, the next level and understanding of manifesting is what Master Sha has brought to us, which is called soul over matter. All of us spend all this time in the consciousness of mind over matter, thinking it. I want that money, I want that job, thinking whatever it is we want. But in actuality, if we move to the higher understanding of soul, and soul is in everything, and that's a whole lot more powerful than mind. And so this is part and parcel of the entirety of what you will be receiving here today. So I'm going to start by offering a soul guidance. I'm going to connect to the soul world, and I'm going to ask them to share with you some deeper understandings from their perspective as to your soul, why it is here, and what heaven hopes for everybody. Okay? Excuse me. Give me a moment to connect. So this wisdom is what I will share. We are most grateful at this time to offer a deeper wisdom and teaching for all those that care to truly listen. It is with an open heart and an open soul that we come to each of you, even now as we speak. Heaven is quite active these days. Heaven loves all souls without condition. There are wisdoms and teachings that over time have been manipulated to cause those that receive those teachings to believe that heaven is conditional, that your Creator is conditional, that love is conditional. This is actually false teachings. However, because of the nature of the falseness, because of the nature of the repetition of that falseness, there has been a separation from one soul to the next, and to the next, and to the next. And hence, just in the human form alone, there are 7.7 billion separate souls that truly believe they are separate. This is very sad. And this is why heaven is working overtime. Because in the entirety of Earth's history, there has been multitudes of experiences in which humanity has lost their way. And there had to be a reset, if you will, so that the loss was not too high. In other words, if the majority are in negativity, lost, separate from their own soul, separate from other souls, then the entirety of the human race could reach a point of going from positivity into negativity. And this would be of the greatest and most sad possible experience. Because then those souls could be lost for a long time. And their journey could be thwarted in a very significant manner. And so you have heard of past events in the history of man, great floods and more. These are not fables, these are actual occurrences that came as a result of the tide of positivity moving towards negativity, as a result of souls being separate from each other, souls being selfish instead of supportive, loving, and oneness oriented. Why is this information being shared with all of you at this most important time in humanity? Look around at the entirety of this most precious world. There is beautiful people everywhere, and yet they are not being heard. They are not connecting the way they so desire to. Many of the most beautiful souls are actually in great anguish and despair, in solitude and quietude. Many of the most beautiful souls have committed suicide, and some are contemplating it as we speak. Why is this so on such an amazing place like Earth? Because the message that is being delivered by those who wish not for beauty to win over is coming in the form of all things that create separation. All things like the mediums through which information is delivered, billboards, television, radio, internet, and all forms of communication are laced with negativity, with separation thinking, with purchase-based information. These kinds of informations cause an overload and cause separation from soul, separation from self, separation from love, separation from each other. Even the most beloved cell phone causes separation because people no longer talk face to face, heart to heart, soul to soul. The entirety of the human race is at a peak once again. There is rampant separation from all things, including religion, politics, and love of self over other. This form of negativity must be overturned if we are to elevate as an entire race, if we are to elevate as a soul. This series, Opening the Heart and Soul, and the message given to this one speaking on our behalf, is to further awaken you to this truth. You, one soul that is more awakened, more service-oriented, more aligned to recognizing that everything has a soul, is one more light bulb that is turned on, one more watt of the billion-watt frequency that could completely turn the tide towards and maintain the positive. Our message from heaven to each of you at this time is to do your part. Your part is awakening. Your part is recognizing soul in everything. Your part is not being so caught up in your drama of your life that you are unable to see the interconnectivity of all things. Your part is to forgive before it is too late and you have to start over through a new reincarnation. Your part is chanting to serve others with love, peace and harmony. Your part is attending live streams like this and putting into action the wisdom that is taught. Your part is not a small part, for it does not take many to completely bring everything back into alignment. No, the light side is very strong. It only takes awakening, and that is your part in the great web of life. It is my greatest honor to deliver this message to each and every one that is listening at this time. My encouragement to each of you is to not let this opportunity to simply go away and stay away from the practices and the wisdoms that have been brought to humanity by great beings and great masters, including the one called Master Sha, who little of you know true the power that he brings and the significance of his service to humanity. We are always present in your life. We are always there to serve you. Please do your part by further awakening and serving others more selflessly. I am honored to have delivered this message. How, thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's a pretty powerful message, huh? Please share whatever in that message resonated with you. What in that message made your heart open, because I can easily feel in the love of that message from that heavenly being that there was great love for humanity and great love for each of you and a great desire for each of you to more fully awaken. So please share. I'm going to connect for a minute and just figure out what the next step is. Okay. So welcome, Nabadita Nath, Namaste, welcome Janine, Aloha Avalon, and welcome Missy, and everybody else who's joined. If I haven't mentioned your name, please forgive me. Thank you all so much for coming. If you missed that message, that heavenly message, recommend you rewind, watch it. There's some deeper wisdom. There is a great urgency right now actually amongst those that are aware, those on the light side. There is also a great effort to keep a great deal of us unaware. And this effort to keep us unaware looks like drama, drama, drama. It looks like us being locked in our own problems. And one of the fastest ways to remove ourselves from our own problems is to serve others. You know, when you pull yourself out of that drudgy chair and away from that television, and you go outside and you give somebody food if they need it, or you give them a warm blanket if they need it, or you help the lady across the street if she needs it, or you help that person learn a new skill if they need it. This is service. There are so many ways that we can serve. We can educate others to be more awakened. We can share this video, that's service. We can share anything that awakens your heart and soul, that's service. Every form of service, every form of awakening the light is a service in others. And so the key is to duplicate it. Now, the way, visually speaking, the way light side, dark side, think of it like clouds, you know, like dark clouds, white clouds, beautiful, right? Well, collective consciousness creates a white cloud, if you will. Collective consciousness is exceedingly strong, and it has the ability to create huge results. The Source Soul Song of Love, Peace and Harmony is simply one way to maintain a higher collective consciousness. Many of you do not really understand deeply enough what it means when something is transmitted, or what it means when something has power transmitted to it. Some of you may have heard ancient stories where a master has a student follow them for 30 years, and the student cooks for the master, washes dishes for the master, grabs fire for the master, and the master doesn't impart one piece of information, and yet that master can snap his fingers and light the same fire. That master can disappear and reappear someplace else. A lot of us think this is stories, but in actuality, are angels stories? Is Jesus a story? No. Jesus could disappear and reappear. And so can beings who are dedicated to the light side. They have developed their light body. And so these beings are on Earth. And they have been in many, many decades, lifetimes, billions of years. Those kinds of beings have come and gone. And so there are many that just remain in hiding, and they teach high-level masters. Those kinds of beings have been given very unique authorities to transmit power to objects and things. My second master is a female Chinese master. When she came out of the mountain, an enlightened being, the people had not seen her for 10 years. And this was in a little town in China. And she came, and a little old lady helped her to stay in her. And people came knocking on the door, asking for help, sick. Nobody knew who she was. She came out of nowhere. They just knew that she was a special being. And what she would do is she would ask them for a coin or an object that they had. And she would bless that object and give it back to them. And she would say, put this on the area of suffering. She would say, rub it and ask for your request. And they would obviously get healed. They would feel much, much better. So when I tell you that Master Sha can transmit power to books, objects and things, that's not the only person I've ever heard about that from. I know for a fact that's possible. I've been experiencing it from other masters well before I met Master Sha. So a very highly evolved being can transmit power to objects and things. Why is that important for you to comprehend? Because if we try to deal with things, to open our heart, to open our soul at the human level, we are simply going to run up a hill that is slicked with grease. What is the grease-slicked hill? That is karma, and that is anything related to darkness that is trying to keep us from awakening, trying to keep us from becoming one, trying to return us to oneness. That darkness is there, and it comes in the form of negative mindsets, negative attitudes, negative beliefs. It comes in ego, I am right, I am better, they're wrong. It comes in all forms. All that is all forms of darkness. And basically, if we try to resolve things at our current level, we can move forward. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. We're moving forward, but it's like fighting an uphill battle. When we surround ourselves with anything that carries a much higher frequency, anything that carries power in it, like what this master put in an object, then we instantly can have better results. This image behind me, beautiful, isn't it? I asked Master Sha to put a Kai Gong blessing in it. Kai Gong means blessed with light. So Guan Yin is blessed with light. Happy Buddha is blessed with light. Over here is Amitofu, original Buddha, blessed with light. I can ask them to offer you a blessing, this image, and you would have amazing results. I could ask you to pick something in pain, ask them to offer you a blessing. I do nothing. I just sit here and maybe just draw or something. You would have a blessing, and at least half of you would have a noticeable shift. Why? Because an object has received a blessing. Now, why did I go on this 5-minute explanation of an object receiving a blessing? 2 reasons. If we're going to open our heart and soul, we must release any perspectives that heaven is not there and serving us in a myriad of ways, including bringing high-level beings to earth. Some people have an issue with the name Master in front of the name Paul. I actually have an issue with it. The only reason I even say it is because it helps people to go, okay, well maybe he knows something and I can learn from him. It's only a way to awaken some people to higher wisdom. Master Sha, he's considered a grandmaster. You know, if you ever spend any time around him, he's bowing down a lot. He's offering complete credit to the source, to the divine. He takes no credit for anything. He offers deep gratitude, humility for all that he's ever received. And he teaches his students like myself, never ever take credit for anything. Never take credit for anything. Always give credit to your beloved Creator. So when I tell you, Master Sha said this, Master Sha said that, you know, go get one of his books, go do this, go do that. You have to understand that if you have resistance, your heart and soul is not open. You're responding from a place of a ego in actuality. You would be, and I know that all of, probably 70% of you are not, but it's highly likely that 30% of you are. And that 30% that is, it's really important to understand where that resistance comes from. It comes from having a closed heart and a closed soul. It comes from a place of self-protectionism. One that says, well, I don't understand it, therefore I'm not going to allow that information in. Who is somebody to call themselves a master? Well, a true master is someone that dedicates their life to serve humanity unconditionally. I know that about this Master Sha. I know that about Jesus. I know that about Buddha. I know that about Dalai Lama. I know that about many souls. But because of our ego, who is this person that call themselves a master? So if you're one of those souls that's watching this and maybe you're ready to hit the off button, recognize that that's the beginning of having a closed heart and soul. That's the beginning of not allowing yourself to move forward on your soul journey. As I said earlier, if we don't move like the bamboo, allow everything in regardless of the information, and then say, well, that's not for me at this time, maybe I don't have enough information for it to be of value to me. This is part and parcel of having an open heart and soul so that we can be better servants, so that we can understand more. Now the Source Soul Song of Love, Peace and Harmony is exactly that. It is something that has received a transmission, much like that previous female master put a transmission into an object. Well, everything has a soul, doesn't it? So a song has a soul. Some songs don't carry forth very good messages. Some songs carry beautiful messages. There are, you go to a Christian church, they chant mantras, they chant verses, right? And people love to chant them because it makes them feel better. Same thing in other traditions, Buddhist traditions and whatnot. So everything actually has a soul. And those songs that are sung more actually have more souls singing them, because once a soul sings a song, that echo, that wave goes out into the universe. And so the more that sing it, the bigger that wave, the higher that frequency, the more the light. Makes sense, right? If you think about it. Remember the web of light that rolls out? And so the Source Soul Song of Love, Peace and Harmony is exceedingly high. Master Sha was told by his highest connection that this song, because he received it 15 years ago. He didn't just sit down and write it and go, I love my heart and soul, I love all humanity, join hearts and souls together, love, peace and harmony. Wow, that's nice words. No, he didn't do that. He was with some students in the Redwood Forest, and he asked heaven, can I please have a song that represents our commitment to serve humanity? And he received the words, lula lula li, lula lula la li, lula luli lula lula luli lua. And so he understood that that was heaven's what's called soul language. And so he asked, dear heaven, thank you for this soul language. Can I please have a translation? And he received the translation in his native tongue, Mandarin Chinese. And he wrote it down. And then he translated into English. So when he received it first, it was not something he wrote down on his own. It was a heavenly message. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace and harmony. Love, peace and harmony. Now he received that 15 years ago without knowing the value of it. It was just a neat song, and he had to ask for the melody. Dear God, how do you sing this? What's your tune that goes with this? And he received the melody. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace and harmony. Love, peace and harmony. Not bad for receiving something from heaven. Nice beautiful verse, nice beautiful melody. 15 years ago I received that. What he was told later on was that this song, heaven had transmitted this song to all souls. Just like a master can transmit it to souls, heaven can transmit it to all souls. He was told that about 5 or 6 years into it. And the reason he was told that was because he said that heaven taught him, they said the more souls that sing this song, the more souls in all universe sing it with you. They've all received it. All you have to do when you chant it is invite other souls to chant with you. Now if you remember the basic wisdom, light that collects together attracts more light. Like attracts like. Those that do good service attract others that do good service. Those that do bad service attract others that do bad service. Like attracts like. And it doesn't stop at our physical presence. It doesn't stop with our serving one person at a time. When you want to open your heart and soul, the first part is service. But we are so bogged down in our drama of life. We have to watch that Monday night serial show. We have to watch that, whatever it is, whatever takes us away from connecting with others, that is our drama. The relationship drama, the work drama. We all have our story that we could write novels about. But all of those serve to keep our hearts closed, and they serve to keep our souls closed. How do we open up our heart and soul? We recognize first and foremost that everything has a soul, and that every soul's purpose is to serve. And that if we're stuck in a drama, it's because we are not, we don't have an open heart and soul. We are stuck in a place of selfishness. Even if we don't think we are selfish, if we're stuck in our dramas, we are being selfish. And so one of the fastest ways to resolve this is to chant, to serve others. And since we know, you don't have to believe, again, it's just a message that I'm sharing with you. There's no reason for you to believe it unless you do more homework and believe it of your own accord. But the message is that heaven has transmitted this song to all souls in all universes for the purpose of having one message that delivers completely the same message everywhere. Therefore, bringing light and the light message in one song. The song is already in 50 languages and is currently sung around the world in as many countries. So, and Kristen has posted this information early on in the chats. You can look at the name of it and all that. How to download it, where to get the song, how to get the 50 languages, all that's listed here. And this isn't a web stream dedicated to this song. It carries a bigger message. The message that I'm trying to relay to you is that you don't have to lift a finger to serve. You don't have to lift a finger to open your heart and soul. You do not have to change a single thing about your daily activities and your lack of time to elevate your soul standing and service. All you have to do is awaken that heaven has brought very important beings, and the message of these important beings over time has been thwarted. It has been twisted by humans, and it has been taught to be conditional. Love has been taught to be conditional. Love is not conditional, guys. Love is and forever will be unconditional. When we have closed hearts, when we have closed souls, it's because we have accepted that false truth. We've accepted that love has conditions. The first part of the acceptance is that Mama Nut says, do this and I'll give you this. We hear from certain wisdom teachings out there, certain belief systems that have been twisted by man, that God's love is conditional. And even though we might consciously say, I don't believe that now, we've had to go through a lot. And we still bring conditionalness into our own lives. There are many that don't have love in their life. They can't find that soulmate. Why? because they believe that love is conditional on some level. If they didn't, then they would just fill their heart with God's love in all the billions of ways it shows up in their life, and they would not search outside of themselves to fill that love. But they don't look first to God because they think God's love is conditional and they're not worthy on some level. Now that's a blanket statement, but it's at least 50% true for 50% of the people. So all these different ways that our heart and soul is closed, it comes at us from billions of directions. It comes at us from all those things that attract our attention. It comes at us from the wrong teachings. It comes at us from what we've not believed in self. Back to love, peace, and harmony. When we chant this song, it can change our life. How? What did I share earlier? Things can have power transmitted to it. Heaven transmitted power to all souls in all universes, this song. Heaven transmitted power to Master Sha so that he could be a better servant to humanity. You need to only open up YouTube and Master Sha and see literally over 1,000 miracles where people have said, I had this problem before, I don't have it now. How is that possible unless someone has the ability to transmit power to clear the blockages? Very simple. It is possible. So the song of love, peace, and harmony has been transmitted to all souls, and that includes you. What was the earlier teaching today? Everything has a soul. Does your organs have a soul? Yes, they have a consciousness. Does your cells have a soul? Yes, they have a consciousness. Does your problems have a soul? Yes. Does your relationships have a soul? Yes. Everything has a soul because Creator created everything. And every soul's purpose is to serve. I keep repeating so it starts to catch on, so you start to get it. Every soul's purpose is to serve. So your problems have a soul. What's the purpose of every soul? To serve. So your problems are trying to serve you? Yes, your problems are trying to serve you. They're trying to get you to awaken so that you stop having problems, so that you see that love and forgiveness can resolve them. That's why you have problems, because of spiritual debt. And it's awakening you to that spiritual debt. It's awakening your heart and soul. It's giving you the opportunity to awaken your heart and soul. Master Sha, a benevolent being, has come to humanity to awaken humanity's heart and soul. A lot bigger task than me sitting here on Facebook trying to awaken you to a few of his wisdoms. You want to be awakened to more wisdoms, go buy his books. Your soul will sing with gratitude. Love, peace, harmony is the most powerful tool, besides calligraphy, which I'm coming to awaken our heart and souls. My statement I said about 20 minutes ago, we cannot easily and effortlessly and quickly awaken our heart and soul using our own power. It's just too damn hard. How do you awaken your own heart and soul using your own power? You're at where you're at. If you're not where you want to be and just thrilled and happy with everything in your life, that means that you haven't been able to do it with your own power. Very simple. So we must look for God power. And you know, you can call on God. God's there. He's always there. But if you could hear God talking to you, he would say, do love, do forgiveness. And go find a high-level being that can assist you to level up. One of them, I'm not saying he's the it, the all, is this teacher, Master Sha. And, you know, he put power into this song. If you want to know if a pear is sweet, taste it. All you got to do is play it in your room all night long. See if you don't feel better in the morning. All you got to do is chant it to serve others and see if you don't feel better in 10 or 15 minutes. It proves itself out. It never hasn't. So that's one example. Another example is this. This is called a calligraphy. This is called Ibitsu, Tao Source Oneness Calligraphy. Now, this teacher, Master Sha, for literally 15 years, has created over 1 million healing miracles. No joke. Okay, literally over 1 million. Many of which have been documented. Like thousands have been documented. You know how many you have to do to create 1,000 video documentations? You have to do a lot. Because not everybody's willing to talk. Sometimes it's done remotely. You know, he just does a blessing remotely and has many miracles. But he never takes credit for it. Never takes credit for it. Always offers credit to the source. Because these years, he has received the ability to transmit, to help people to have new organs, new systems, new chakras, new whatever it is. He also puts power into books. Why? He's not going to be here forever. He's got other plans. He's got to go help heaven some more in his own way. And so what has he done? He thinks. He says, how can I leave power to help humanity to heal themselves? I'll leave them wisdom that soul is the boss. That if you serve others, you will self-heal. I'll leave the wisdom in books that the same wisdom that other great masters have left, but I'm also going to leave power in the books. Soul power is acknowledging that everything has a soul and working with that acknowledgement. When we recognize that a piece of paper has a soul, that a calligraphy writing has a soul, and that power can be transmitted to that, then you will start to understand. If you don't believe it, that's okay. I completely get it. I mean, this is not the easiest thing to immediately adopt and accept. But what I share with you needs to be experienced. And so we're going to do a practice shortly here. But I want you to understand that if you go out and you buy a book off Amazon, go buy one of his more recent books, either Soul Healing Miracles, this one's called Soul Over Matter, which is about increasing your financial flourishing. It has new calligraphies in it. Those books have these amazing calligraphies in it. Soul, Mind, Body, Science, very, very advanced. You better be a brainiac, but it has awesome calligraphies in it. And what he did was he put power in them. Now we're going to do a practice with these, but I encourage you to have an open mind. You might be quite surprised at the value that you receive. And if you were to go and purchase one of these books and read, your soul will just love the words. Your soul will just eat up the words like it was the nectar of life, because he didn't write them. Master Sha didn't write the books. He speaks them out in about a week. He just says, okay, Heaven, what do you want to say? And he speaks them out. And again, he has no attachment. You like it, don't like it. He's just here to serve. But when you read it, you go, wow, this wisdom is astounding, because your soul knows. And so you start to understand the value of things like this. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a practice to open the heart and soul. This video, or excuse me, this book has the image called Da-I. Da-I is Mandarin Chinese for greatest love. Greatest love. When we connect to the soul of greatest love, and greatest love was transmitted to this, what does that mean? That means higher level frequencies, higher than yours and mine, have come to an object. Just like the female Chinese master I mentioned, she put higher level frequencies into an object. People put it on their body, they got healed. She didn't take credit. She brought higher level frequencies to an object. Master Sha brought higher level frequencies to this servant, called the Tao Source Oneness Calligraphy, Da-I. Different time to answer that question, Kate. And so with this calligraphy, we can ask it to serve us. We can ask the souls of our cells, our cell units, our organs, our systems to serve as well. But here's the secret. Selflessness is what brings an open heart. Selflessness is what opens our heart. So instead of asking for ourself, we're going to ask to serve others for the same condition that we would normally ask for ourselves. If you have back pain, you do not ask for yourself. You ask this blessing to serve others. You have headache, you do not ask for yourself. You have problems with your finances, you do not ask for yourself. You offer unconditional service to serve others. Then afterwards, I'll share with you, I'll do a reading, and I'll share with you the value of that service. Okay. So, we're first going to connect. So we do what's called soul power. So we start with our hands in soul light, soul service hand position. We drop the left hand in front of the heart center. The right hand remains pointed towards heaven, just like a prayer. But with the left hand in front of the heart center, we're more easily able to conduit heaven through one hand into our heart center. It's a hand mudra. For creative visualization, you're going to actually have your eyes open. I'm going to have you trace this calligraphy, which is why I have it listed here, because you're actually going to draw it. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your fingers together like this. Okay, you see my fingers? All four fingers of my thumb are touching. This connects your 5 elements, and it helps balance your emotions, because each of these connect to major organs which have major associations to emotions. So by connecting them together and using them as your avenue through which you trace, you are actually balancing your 5 organs, you're balancing your 5 elements, you're balancing your emotions, and you're collecting the frequency that's coming off of this blessed calligraphy. Okay? So remember, this is Da-I, which stands for greatest love. That's what this calligraphy stands for, greatest love. All right? And so for the mantra, you will follow me. I will chant Da-I and greatest love. For the soul power, let us connect, placing our hands in soul light, soul service hand position. Left hand in front of the heart center, right hand pointed towards heaven. Close your eyes. We're going to ask this soul to service. Repeat after me. Dear the Divine, my beloved Creator, all beings of light serving the plan of the light side, I love you, honor you, respect you. I ask most humbly for forgiveness if in any lifetime I have caused others to close their heart, if I have caused others to not be able to align to their soul, if I have kept others from opening their heart and soul in any way or form, I most deeply, humbly and sincerely apologize. Please forgive me. Dear the soul of this Tao Source calligraphy, Da-I, greatest love, the soul of the blessings transmitted to this calligraphy, the countless layers of temple souls, heaven's teams, heaven's animals, all healing instruments transmitted to this calligraphy, I love you. Could you please bless all the souls of humanity that have the same condition that I have for my request that I'm going to make now? So you think of what you want, you request it for other souls. I am most humbled and grateful. Thank you. Dear my own soul and every soul in my body, the souls of my organs, my systems, my cells, my RNA, my DNA, dear all of the souls of my body, the soul of my condition, the soul of what I've requested, I love you, honor you, appreciate you. Could you please offer your unconditional service and chant this song for all of these other souls that have the same condition? Do a great job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now we're going to chant Da-I and we're going to trace. Remember, you're tracing with your eyes open. You're following the stroke. That's all you're doing, following the stroke, okay? So let us begin. Da-I, 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 Da-I. Greatest love, unconditional love, melts all blockages, purifies your heart and soul. Da-I, 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 die, die. Greatest love, unconditional love, melts all blockages, purifies my heart and soul. Please bless all those souls with the same condition as me. Please bless all those souls with the same conditions as me. Die, 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 die. Greatest love, unconditional love, melts all blockages, purifies your heart and soul. Die, 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 die. Greatest love, unconditional love, melts all blockages, purifies my heart and soul. And now let us chant love, peace and harmony. Continue to trace. As you are tracing, imagine all those souls that are suffering for the same condition that you ask for. You ask for them. See them recovering. See them in deep gratitude. They are feeling better. They are offering gratitude to the divine because they know not where this blessing is coming from. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. 我爱我心儿灵，我爱突然然泪，望你音容耳目世上，相爱平安和谐，相爱平安和谐。I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace and harmony. Love, peace and harmony. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, la, li. Lula, lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. 我爱我心儿灵，我爱全人类，望你音容耳目世上，相爱平安和谐，相爱平安和谐。I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace and harmony. Love, peace and harmony. 好，好，好。Thank you, thank you, thank you. Give me a moment to turn the camera around. Okay. Thank you for pointing out that the calligraphy was backwards. I should have known that in advance, but didn't quite figure that one out in time. And so this is truly a powerful blessing. Now, sometimes I go a few more minutes in the blessing, but I got to tell you, heaven was very present. I'm going to do a reading now as to the value of this practice for each of us. And my encouragement is to receive your own book with these calligraphies in it. Amazon has them in the used section as well as the new section. You can get them very affordably, but the power in them, it's the biggest understatement of the century. These will be one of the most coveted tools for healing. I want to share with you another reason to have it. You heard the flow, the guidance earlier when Heaven offered guidance as to the nature of the human race and how in the past there was some blockages and how there was a cleansing, if you will, floods and whatnot. We are not out of the woodworks as a race. We have a great deal of turmoil in the world, and there is certainly not conditions present in which we are definitely strongly headed towards the light as an entire humanity. And so we want to do our part in maintaining that. Now, there is so much power in these calligraphies that to have one of them, it's like having something in your medicine chest. You want to have these kinds of tools near you, with you. You want the Love, Peace, Harmony song. You want calligraphies to have on you. You know, keep it in the book. If you want to have it with you even closer, then buy 2 books, cut one out of the book, and keep it with you. Whatever you do, this you can pull out essential. If you have someone that's ill or sick, the more you trace this calligraphy, the better the blessings. Of course you connect at the soul level. Of course you ask for forgiveness. Of course you ask Heaven, Tao, and Source to join you. But this is one of those treasures that has been brought to humanity to assist us to deal with things at a frequency higher than our own frequency. We simply don't have the power to deal with all of our stuff with our frequency. If we did, we wouldn't have problems. And so these kinds of servants have come to humanity. There are souls and they are here to serve. And these calligraphies are beyond extraordinary. The ones that Master Sha does individually for people, they honor. He was over in China. People were purchasing these for $500,000 and more. And they didn't have to be convinced, because in working these calligraphies, he would simply have people standing in front of him, and their suffering would disappear, you know, really, really quickly. The #1 artist in all of China. He did a 50-foot mural for the United Nations building. He is the most renowned artist in all of China. Was on death's door. Master Sha did a calligraphy for him. He traced the calligraphy 3 days later. He's like promoting Master Sha like he is 10,000 times more important than he is. And this man has the ear of all the most important people in China. And so it goes to show you that power can be put into an object, that these kinds of things can occur, and that the blessings can come from other than just people. So today's beginning of this series is to awaken your heart and soul, and to conclude the entirety of this teaching. The first part is recognizing that we have a soul. and that everything has a soul. We need to move from selfishness to selflessness. So part of that recognition is realizing that all of our souls inside of our body are here to serve as well. They all want to serve more. So let's start connecting with them. Then we start connecting to the beings of light that are here to serve us. Be more grateful. When we are in a position that we can chant love, peace and harmony to serve others, let us do so. Let us do so more often. In order to open our heart, we must move away from our negative mindsets, attitudes and beliefs, and our own ego, our self-righteousness. All of these things keep us from having an open heart. Let us use these tools to assist us with not being in those places that are not serving us. The Source Soul Song of Love, Peace and Harmony carries with it extraordinarily high frequencies, and every once in a while heaven uplifts it even more. So I can share with you that it is a free tool, and it is one of the most powerful tools that you can use. Use it to serve your children, use it to serve your loved ones, use it to serve yourself, and chant to serve others. The Tao Source Calligraphies is a phenomenal tool to help you open your heart and soul more. You spend 30 minutes a day with this tool, it's highly unlikely you will not be feeling better and better and better. You spend 1 or 2 hours a day tracing, chanting love, peace and harmony, it's very, very unlikely you will not feel better and better and better. Why? Because it's self-clearing our spiritual debt. It's pouring heaven's light and virtue into us. Light and virtue clears darkness and karma. Very simple. So the more of it that you do, the better you're going to feel. It's common sense. All you have to do is surround yourself with it. So this is what will start us off on this series for opening the heart and soul. I wish to offer my gratitude to the Divine Tao and the Source, to all the beings of light who came. All of you are beings of light. Thank you for coming. For those that came in late, highly recommend you watch us from the beginning. There is great wisdom, there is great guidance and blessings. I will be here tomorrow to continue on this series of opening your heart and soul. If you're new and you enjoyed this, please hit the subscribe button. If you're watching the podcast, please subscribe from whatever player you prefer to use. You can even subscribe and receive comments, receive it in the email instead of on your cell phone, if that's what you'd prefer. So I will see you tomorrow, same time. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gong song, gong song, gong song. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.